All right, another pain point of capitalism: noise. I mean, you literally see it. You see the TV noise, you see a person who happens to be a child buying some item using capitalism and causing noise. But it goes so much deeper than that. Noise is disruption of communication. And capitalism tends to produce this side effect. Technically, one of the biggest evils of capitalism. Have you heard some of that? No? Have you heard some of this? Yeah? My personal favorite that just like literally late stage capitalism doom and gloom is pieces of shit who buy this, basically, and make a lot of noise. Where do they get the right to make noise? There are no rights. There are no rights or wrongs when purchasing things. You can purchase whatever you want. You can purchase 2,000 dogs, basically. And they can all just bark all at the same time, of course. At some point, you'll be weird. You don't want to come off as weird. But you think that society just has to accept this? There's something wrong. And that something is simply we cannot communicate even the problems, the privacy invasions, which is literally what keeps capitalism alive in the first place. So usually every single system eventually creates the evil that eats the system itself. Right? And until you solve that evil, you can't actually even have a good version of capitalism. If you cannot have a good version of capitalism, some countries might even be set back to still figure things out before they go to the next step. You know, everything will become North Korea for just a little bit of time. And I probably will get an invitation of like, hey guys, you should go here. Yes, you'll have to spend money. Yes, you'll need to find a job, basically, of a list of like relatively simple jobs, you know, not from thin air. Find it from thin air. Like when I went to UK, there's like workplace agencies. So they find jobs for you. You don't have to fucking lift a finger. And if they were competent enough, well, guess what? And it's not workplace agencies like I have it at home, which is why everyone travels to UK to actually go to work, because it's more organized. It's just that simple. So capitalism is still establishing, capitalism is still introducing new things, and your privacy is going to be invaded one way or the other. There might be too many migrants or too many people buying gangster shit. So it depends. But that's the side effect of capitalism. It's undeniable. Because last episode we literally talk about you are surrounded by stupid people. In normal conditions, you can just run away. But the stupid people, they know what the fuck they're doing, and they constantly tell you, well, you can go anywhere else and spend your money anywhere else. You have freedom. And they fucking laugh at you because that's not true. You do not have freedom to escape stupid people. You will always be surrounded. No matter what. That's the number one rule of stupid people, is to surround you, basically. I mean, I might be exaggerating, but that's the point. The stupid people they want power. They will crave power all the way, and some of them will actually claim power and cling onto power and like be the Karens of the world. Also invading your privacy, just in case. Right? You forgot that you're surrounded by stupid people. But like when I lived on the internet in a social environment, I realized how ridiculous people actually are. They just don't want to care about anything. And their solution is always to open their mouth, first of all, about it to you and tell you their NPC programming, basically. Now that's a whole different category, right? It's not only just acknowledging that not caring is what everyone is doing, but it's also acknowledging that you're surrounded by stupid people who want to tell you about it, who are so proud of themselves that they don't care about anything, and you should do the same things for whatever the fuck reason, basically, that caring is a weakness nowadays. This is where, like, narcissism gets to someone's head, basically. It's the maximum brain rot of narcissism, right? When it actually convinces you to not care. Because it's the ultimate gaslight tactic to make people not care of, like, well, we're gonna slaughter one person every day, but as long as you just, stay calm, like, no one's gonna notice, there's not gonna be, like, a panic, and it's great for everyone. So people tend to actually let a lot of dark things slip through the cracks. And when gaslighting is, like, very strong, when communication dies, all of a sudden this, like, evil of noise can start manifesting, where people even get triggered if you bring anything up. Right? Like, the victims get victimized, because it's a lot easier that way. Anytime you open your mouth, you get drowned in noise immediately, and the entire world is so proud of themselves, drowning you, basically, and basically draining your hopes away that you will be able to, like, live a normal life. Everyone is doing all kinds of meaningless stuff, and capitalism, the biggest thing that it's missing is a reputation system, where it, cleans up the streets from all the NPCs. All the NPCs have to go elsewhere. They automatically should lose their freedom, but it should be like halfway jail system, right? If you are a nuisance to society, you should go to a different relocation place. You shouldn't be able to just be free 100% across the world, basically. It's just that simple. The solutions are fucking simple. But if we don't talk about it, if we drown me in noise, and my personal favorite thing to drown me in is, I don't know how to reach people. To this day, I uploaded 1,000 videos. I have no idea how to reach people. Besides fucking slapping Mr. Beast thing and talking about Mr. Beast thing. Right? Drama. YouTuber fucking drama, basically. So the funny thing is, there's just another layer of noise. People are interested in things that don't even fucking matter, that don't actually better their lives yet. In fact, they're focusing on, I don't know, killing billionaires, that sort of stuff, taxing billionaires. It might not actually be the solution, unfortunately, because the solution is not to cry at the government to do something and to always believe that, even if a solution is good, it's like very accessible solution. No, stupid people will just make a lot of noise. And to make them care, you just, have to say that something is on fire, something is dying, basically, something is fundamentally changing. Only then you can make NPCs give a fuck. And even then, they will contemplate that in the comments and, trying to talk you down in the comments. Because you made them care, you woke them up. It's a fucking, the greatest sin of all time. You try to communicate with them during capitalism, where time is money, and money is whatever the fuck they want, right? Anyone can turn money into just, like, fucking statues of gold, rivers of Coca-Cola, and just, like, anything you can imagine. Except, no. All the NPCs turn money into, if they're evil, they just turn it into noise. That's it. They just make babies, buy noisy equipment, and, invite friends over for a party. They just make noise. When the NPCs are happy, when they have a lot of money, All that comes out of their fucking ass is noise. That's it during that's it. That's the, fucking exhaust of capitalism. When you have excess amount of stuff, noise comes out. It's fucking crazy. Back in the day, people would drink. Now they don't drink as much. And they walk the streets fucking wobbling around, noising around the streets. And you will question if, like, you should help that person or not. There was one time I encountered a drunk person. I'm like trying to help them, but I was like fucking half my age basically, and it's just like it was such a messy situation to where like just fuck it, that's impossible. I didn't even knew what I was doing, to be honest, because just helping someone drunk get up on their feet is just completely pointless. Right, so now you have all this noise laying around, basically. You don't know if that's a homeless person or what. Like, if they need help to get up, it's just like, it's completely pointless. If you see someone drunk and like half asleep, just, well, you will have to sleep on the fucking ground right now. Yep. And that's noise. That's like literally a person right there fucking role-playing as a dead body, and no one would know what to do with it because it's noise now. It's a capitalistic exhaust. Of course you would have to like walk away. Unless that man wears a suit, unless that man looks rich basically. Then it might be actually worth giving it a shot. It's so weird, man. It's not happy. We're talking about evil here. This is not fucking happy, guys. When I talked about placeholder items, did I mention, like, police being placeholder? Yeah? No? Something? The funniest thing, our society does not want to change anything. We see it happen in real time. The biggest police nuisance that they have to respond to is noise. Why can't we just solve it once and for all? Why can't we just make very, very strict laws about noise? It's not like police can catch everyone, but it has to be like extremely strict. If police can catch you making noise, like even walking down the street and you blasting your fucking speakers. I had to fucking bump into a person, I don't know, once a month like this, it looks like. At least back to back, like there was like 2 instances right now. Very recent. And there's often like people walking down the street, like they blasting speakers. Like who the fuck they are, right? They're policeable pieces of shit. They should be told to stop. And if they don't stop, everything escalates. Police should know how to fucking do their job against this trash. But they're not doing their job. They're placeholders. Their biggest job, they know what their biggest job is, and they're not actually, creating high-level laws, high-level strict laws to fully police the area and make it, like, very scary to fucking make noise. Because, again, noise is the ultimate way to invade someone's privacy. If you're just allowed to knock on people's doors, I mean, I can literally make a fucking agency that knocks on people's doors, gives a meaningless fucking piece of paper, and that's it. But I will scare the shit out of people, man. I will love this job. This meaningless, just fucking nuisance agency, basically. Knocking on people's doors, giving useless fucking pieces of paper every fucking day. As often as I possibly can get away with. I want to be evil too. Good people literally want to be evil. For the sake of teaching a fucking lesson, basically. For the sake of figuring out how long until police steps in and actually polices the damn thing that we just created. Right? It would be like total social experiment in case of emergency situations where police just acts like a complete placeholder, complete dummies, basically. When they realize that's their job. That's half of their job. And they have to, like, actually split and specialize in this. And talk to people about this. They should be talking to people about this. And detecting where's, like, the noisiest areas, all this shit, man. But instead, when I, at one point I make a phone call about, like, a really big problem, they just fucking said it's legal and moved on with their lives. And it's like, wow. Wow, this is the maximum disrespect, As long as something is legal, we don't have to give a fuck. But that's what it is. Like, that's why police is placeholder. Not only they only respond to, like, legal problems. Legal, illegal, baby. But they don't actually investigate. They don't do shit, man. And that's where we invented noise called Fuck the Police. No. But yes. But no. But defund the police. I mean, we chant this thing because we just fucking tired of them not actually doing their job. And, might as well just invite anarchy instead of, fucking letting covert anarchy exist where only the bad guys win. When it's like total anarchy, good guys can still, fight back quite well. But when it's covert anarchy, it's like the worst version of anarchy in the first place. It's a very tactical anarchy where only bad guys get a head start basically on everything. So, I'm telling you guys, this is not a fun video. It's not fun. And you talk to an NPC and they just, like, throw, like, 2,000 things at you so they can minimize scare. My mom, says she can't hear very well. It's absolutely a learned response. She used to say I own this house. I own this house when she was able to dominate me, basically. And now the future came, knocked on her fucking forehead, and it's like, sure you do. Sure you own this fucking house. He still owns the fucking house. But she stopped that bullshit rhetoric immediately when she wasn't dominating me, basically. When I was a precious and, when I was basically stuck. And I came back and I even helped her clean up everything. Because she was also, again, part of the mob. She was also surrounded by stupid people. Even potentially stupider and more dangerous and more evil. I just had to cut all the tethers when I came back from UK. That was also noise, right? Like someone collecting relationships for the sake of noise. Someone is gonna now knock on my fucking door and we have to all figure out what the fuck to do with it. Not only that, my mom tethered herself to some fucking Karen, basically, to some old Karen that's constantly angry and just constantly calling her and asking for care about me, come to my place, come help me do this and that, do chores for me, blah, 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 just like constantly calling every fucking day. It was insane. It was fucking insane. And just like, what do you do about it, man? I had to literally, I couldn't convince my mom, because that's, what NPCs do. They're not convincible in any way. So eventually, the number got blocked, and guess what my mom did? Just accepted the new reality of, like, the moment I forcefully do something onto my mom, the bruises remain for the rest of her life, basically. That damage never gets healed, never gets reverted. It's like, it's my executive decision, basically, and she accepts it immediately when it's forced upon her. Like, what am I fucking even learning? What kind of brain rot am I wiring inside my brain? Of how am I supposed to treat NPCs like piles of trash that they are? That you can't talk to them. Communication is dead, first and foremost. You can't expect under capitalism to have communications. This is why, like, the boomer generation is literally the most brick wall generation that will not listen to you. You have to enforce changes into their lives. The easiest one is just burn their warehouses. That sounds, like another end-stage capitalism thingy we figured out, At some point, all this communication it was a waste of energy, basically. We're wasting energy. It's worthless. You can only maybe communicate amongst celebrities, right? Celebrities amongst each other, they can communicate. Amongst friends, you can communicate. You step outside, it gets shut down very quickly. All right? You have to create noise, you have to create drama for the sake of sending a message, because that's how difficult it is. To break through, to get someone's attention, you have to start a fire, start a riot, basically, to get people's attention. It's this difficult right now. And we haven't even touched the, individuality of the capitalism, individualism, that sort of adds more to the silence. Because noise cannot grow under better circumstances than silence, right? When there's a long stretch of silence and then someone knocks on your door, someone says a stupid fucking comment, and then there's silence again. Now that comment permeates and turns into permanent noise, basically. If whatever has been said is fucking stupid, the rest of the silence gets tainted. Every time I know the biggest threat is not receiving a comment, but receiving a negative first comment that might be the last comment as well. And now I have to worry about it. Worry about that one specific guy who just made a comment for my entire day to revolve around that fucking comment, basically. Because it's the only social material where I can use it for self-improvement. Yes, it came from a stupid person, but someone actually dared to break silence. And it's still a respectable thing. It's still something a notification is going to capture your attention, even if it's the dumbest thing ever, right? This thing is it also generates a lot of boredom, a lot of depression and all that shit. But depression doesn't go away when someone just simply makes a stupid comment, right? It just turns into desperation of why can't they care? Why can't humans just care about something? And so it's no surprise that the biggest pinnacle of YouTube is a person who runs 2,000 charities, and it constantly just, for the sake of content, the charity is always different. You win $100,000 if you fart backwards. If you say Mr. Beast backwards 100,000 times. If you stay in a circle 100,000 times. It's just the biggest in the world charity. Everyone must donate for the trees, for the waters, for the plastics. Blah, 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 blah. It's literally the charity guy. Everything he does is technically charity. Because it makes no sense. That's what charity does. Fundamentally, charity itself is not a good thing. Charity is just a financial anomaly. And even Africans don't actually like it most of the time. When it's just they receive stuff and they start depending on that, the reception of stuff. You want more gangster shit? Yeah. People wearing black is another pile of gangster shit, which also creates noise, right? Because now they signal to you that they're dangerous, basically. And it's okay, we just give them freedom to signal that someone is dangerous because, wearing black is unidentifiable, right? Wearing black is just noise. If everyone wears black, they're part of the fucking gang, basically. It's crazy. Because if you wanted to accuse someone of they did something wrong, Well, what do? What is the defining feature? That they wear black? It gets so fucking stupid. And it's, again, a piece of noise that police should know what to do in this situation, but there is no solution. There's only a problem, and the problem is, kept alive. I can only hope that black clothes-wearing people just get in trouble a lot more just for wearing the clothes, that they get accused of something, and police constantly interviews them. I can only pray and hope that wearing black is not a cheap shot option to anonymize yourself, basically. To make yourself stand out less, which is, it's some kind of like a blob version of noise where everything turns into the same thing. Everything becomes unidentifiable. And in part, that's intimidating. In part, that's an immediate factor that gets into your head. Not to mention the side effect of everything is black. Every item is black until you put stickers on it, which is a whole different way of tech blade. Alright. Like, most of the technologies come in color of black, especially the cheap ones, and it's not as useful as I would imagine, but that's just how it is. That's just the default color, guys. And you almost, like, always have to have a ability to paint those black spots. Like, I put some of the black panels on my wall, and it looks so annoying. It's a fucking void. What even is this? My brain cannot identify this at all. Right? Like, it looks normal until you dim the lights, and it doesn't look normal anymore. It's just a fucking void. Is white better? Absolutely it's better, because you see the grooves a lot better. These things stand out more significantly. Instead of grooves being the void, you actually see them form a pattern on the wall. Slightly more dark, right? There's like actual contrast when it comes to like white items. They have edges. And most importantly, they have visibility. They don't just blend with the darkness itself, which is another thing that what black-wearing people love doing, is just like blending with the darkness. And it's like, that's literally immoral behavior. That's literally siding with the cult of noise and death. But here you go. We just do it. We just normalize the most radical things, to be honest, just by accepting it as freedom and individuality. There's no individuality, they're a blob. Like, this fundamentally doesn't work. It's fundamentally too hypocritical to accept shit like this that's manifesting in front of our fucking eyes. And again, it's just scary. It's like the shadow people, basically. Shadow people of society who just, like, definitely don't contribute anything but noise. I am so annoyed because, like, this is so dangerous for brain. And that's one thing of capitalism. To invade your brain. Like, you cannot trust anyone. You can't actually talk to anyone. The fundamental thing that is, like, the opposite of noise is communication, right? Is exchange of information, and then you understand things better, of like why things are the way they are. If I understand of how long the noise is gonna last, I can actually reduce the impact of the noise. Of like, this noise is gonna last for 1 hour, I have to be prepared, and it has meaning, this and that meaning. If noise actually presents itself through information, through some kind of backup and reasoning, it self-reduces because it's not like a permanent thing, it's not a disrespect thing, it's not something that we have to worry about too much, we just defend ourselves. It's insane to me. It's insane to me. That's the most fundamental thing. But when you're surrounded by stupid people, it's not fundamental anymore. It is torture. It is pure evil. The invasion of your brain, and no one gonna care how much damage they do, as long as it's legal. Right? Here's another aspect of noise, right? Okay, we're individuals. All right, we can have things, and then we have the barking, noisy dogs, which creates two type of noise. Again, intimidation can be noise as well. So the bigger the dog, the more fucking problems I have just walking my fucking streets, bro. Like this, how do people manage to allow this sort of brain rot where they know they will have to fucking leash their dog and control their dog from like sniffing butts, basically sniffing people's shoes, basically? How would you commit to such atrocity? And again, borderline, your dog is gonna be the bark of the town. You want it or not. And you're probably gonna feel bad. It's just like, well, I just have to live with it now. I don't even know their personalities. Who are these fucking people? And it's one of those, it's borderline between a placeholder and noise. It's placeholder because people go outside to walk their dogs. It's that one reason, is that one weird reason. There's more additional paid actors basically walking the streets because they have a very important job, okay? There's just more people in the streets, more fucking NPCs walking around because they are told to do so by their dog. Of like, well, we have to go outside because I want to pee and poo, all right? You have not made a dog-friendly toilet, so we're gonna go outside, actually. It's the weirdest fucking thing, man. That humanity just like fucking accepted. Check mark. Yes, I love it. It's my best friend. And it creates noise where like that's antisocial. And it's like anti-communication thing. It's just a big distraction, basically. And a lot of people just like, there's so much noise, they accept it so much. They're brain rotted, bro. The brain rot has existed before brain rot existed, guys. Don't worry about it. I dare to even say brain rot was worse before social media established itself. Worse. With social media right now, I'm distracting myself. If I had to think about what am I supposed to do, I would just brain rot myself with noise, right? Only noise would remain around me. Like what do I go to a party? That's noise. Everything is noise. Everything that exists becomes noise. What's the point of participating? Even in where my house is. So I have two locations where my house is. It's a crossroads between two things. On one side, it's very close to a train, to rails that make enormous amount of noise, but you know that it's kind of temporary, but it's permanent. Because trains will never stop training, basically. And again, people accept it so much, where it's like, no, it doesn't outweigh the positives. Are you sure about that? The positives are so fucking slim. It's like, for every house we build, we have to also burn a house down. This is the proposition of trains. Trains basically move the building material of houses. They technically contribute to building houses, but they also burn houses down because it makes everything around unlivable. And it's also crossroads with a soccer field. Yay! With players. Let's go. And there's that going on, and they have these fucking weird noises that they do. And they cheer very loud. My house is situated in a crossroads of the dumbest fucking noise invented. Yay! There's just never-ending party in there. Of sports. I mean, technically sports is another placeholder noisy thing that people care about, and it just means completely nothing, basically. People really want to actually fill their lives with noise to just drown themselves away from boredom, away from doing their own things. They want to blob themselves, unite themselves over the most meaningless things. But when it comes to solving problems, that is too much. All right, that's not that interesting, actually. You solve problems by earning money and spending money. How is it different? It's not different at all. To solve problems is to unite for a cause, and the best thing you can do is charity. But again, people will have to learn that the hard way. By liking Mr. Beast. That's the hard way of learning that charity's the only thing you can do under capitalism. You can only throw money. You know, you can only communicate with your dollar. Vote with your dollar. Right? You can only keep things alive with your dollars. By paying taxes, government keeps things alive automatically. Right? Giving benefits out so people stay alive, basically. It's just... Or bail out stupid businesses. Sometimes government is just corrupt. All right? But what can you do? Yes, silence is part of noise. Like unwanted silence. Unexpected silence. Anti-communal silence of like people existing, but they're saying fucking nothing. They're contributing nothing. They don't complete their daily quests, guys. That's annoying, man. No ability to commit. Committal? I don't know how to build sentences for this one. There's even more noise when people flex. Because again, they project silence and noise at the same time. Right? This is where the winner media also turns into noise of like, well, this guy wins. But what about me? I want to socialize. What do we do to socialize? No, that guy went over there. That guy made the biggest thing. No, but like, can we like do stuff? No, that guy over there, he did a lot of things. You should watch that video, actually. All of a sudden, social media is just filled with winners. They have done something, achieved something. It's mind-boggling. Everyone is building something to the point where, again, I have to operate on the same grounds and I have to achieve something in my life as well to even stay relevant. None of these videos that you're watching right now are actually relevant. The relevant part is to build something that people want to have. That's it. And it's just like the darkest type of life, especially when you already are born with 10 disadvantages. Just like, I live in total darkness, guys. Live in total noise. Live in totally helpless situation that I just pray that it goes away at some point. That capitalism shuts down their fucking parking-free grounds, and people have to actually organize themselves to suppress noise, to shut each other up, basically, to point out that, no, you're stupid. No, you're just fucking stupid. You just don't care, right? Shut up. When they actually start shutting each other up, then we will live much better lives. Again, every single video I introduces some kind of like ultimate fix that capitalism needs to do until it's finished. Until we don't have to talk about it anymore. As like an experience that we have to survive, that we have to endure. I don't even know like what the mindset of capitalism is, so a future episode just waiting to happen. what is this like survivor mindset that can still keep you sane, right? What to look after, what to look forward to, because like you get the new things, that's cool. Not the sports. Sports too fucking old and stupid now. There's nothing new about them. There's no like new sports that are actually interesting besides, esports. And those are not interesting. I mean, the most interest I had in sport it was fucking Tetris. So, like, get out of here, guys. Get the fuck out of here. That's the maximum peak interest. Here you go. And so, right now, in late-stage capitalism, silence is, like, extremely prevalent. And even though I'm trying to, like, peel it off, it's the ultimate platform to build noise upon. You make people feel like they cannot actually voice their opinions and say what's wrong in their lives, and at the same time you add this, like, boogeyman behind walls, behind windows, and in every single person's mouth, there's a boogeyman that can come out at any moment and just disrupt your peace. So not only you live surrounded by silence to some extent, but you also, like, in total fear mode that the silence is going to be broken by the dumbest thing ever, right? Because it's a never-ending pattern. The only time silence is broken is by that fucking dumb thing. People cutting grass, right? Cutting grass, ha ha ha. Until we get robots that do it for us silently and automatically, we will have terrible problems, and we will employ people for this job. To disrupt society, we will employ people. Imagine doing that. Imagine paying people to do bad things. That's literally the train mentality. It's a bad thing, but it pays. It pays a lot of money. So yeah, it's noise. When there's a lot of winners and you don't feel like a winner, you drown in silence. You drown in just, like, isolation. And you turn on your TV and it's noise, bombardment of noise of, like, this guy is a winner. This guy is a great singer. This is a great dancer. This is a great show. This is a great actor. Just you keep getting bombarded, bro. Not to mention that back in the day you would have to fight your family to watch your favorite TV shows and whatnot. I had it fucking easy because I'm just the only child. But TV would be a fucking battlegrounds for who gets to have their noisy thing turned on, basically. TV used to be, like, literally the number one thing that kills a lot of YouTube videos. Because there's a TV in the background doing its thing. Or it breaks down communication because people just love leaving the noise turned on. So, like, slowly technology is actually weeding out one piece of noise at a time, but potentially introducing just, a little bit of smaller noises or a pocket dimension for people to even organize noise in a much more sinister way. I'm not sure what I'm saying in this case. But we see, like, TVs got replaced, so that's something. Literally, one item is just indispensable. I love how I know this word for some reason. If something says noise canceling, if there's noise canceling technology in general, it's your best friend. It's the only thing that matters in this fucking world anymore. And again, people tend to even, like, walk around with headphone pieces, earphone pieces, just to not get to deal with outside noise, because it's ridiculous. Just listening to people talk in the background can be the most disrupting thing. Like, it fucking activates my schizo brain of, like, what if they're talking about me, right? Everyone is worried that they're being talked about. And, yeah, there's just a lot of yapping. And all I want to do is just do grocery shopping, and just move on with my life. And even though it's your best friend, it's obviously noise by itself, because it's not as convenient as leaving the goddamn hellhole, basically. At some point, late-stage capitalism, you have to be wary right now. The best advice I can give you is escape all the noisy places because they're trash. Alright? This is how you know the level of disrespect that people have for themselves is an invitation to evil. Right? So, you can just decipher how good a certain place is on one factor and one factor only. This is it. This one factor is the only factor that matters ever. Under capitalism, yeah, because that's the biggest evil, right? So it's also the biggest indicator of bad things, you know, of all the bad things. It's all convergence in the end of the day. Because if an evil person is happy, they will, and like proud of themselves, they will make noise. So I haven't been trying to like move out because obviously the financial situation is, everything is on fire, all right? And no one offers jobs. It should be both at the same time. People should be offering jobs and a place to stay. And I move immediately, right? But it's not happening. And it's probably not happening because of a certain particular thing we have been talking about, right? Something is, jamming communications all the time. You can talk to the smartest person and an NPC is going to show up and jam the communications. You have to, like, literally set up a very clean environment to avoid being interrupted. This one, I don't actually have that many examples of. Normally, people don't want to interrupt, but they're just stupid enough to where, like, they can just make tiny noises and disrupt some kind of group thing that happens. And there's one more thing that's like anti-communication is leave out context. Just like noise could have context to reduce itself. When you understand noise, you can avoid it, block it for a certain period while it's existing. Like someone was like making renovation in their apartment and it took a whole fucking year. Every now and then they had that magical time to make hammering noise and it's finally over. Oh my god. But there's another aspect to it. And again, I needed to know everything about it to be able to even withstand that shit. But there's another thing, which is context. People want to write very tiny words. Just one-liners. They want to oversimplify everything. And without enough context, your one-liner turns into noise, turns into up for interpretation, attempt to communicate. That one is the noisiest thing ever, because it can turn into noise very quickly. It's a noise bomb, basically. If I misinterpret your out-of-context bullshit, what happens? Now we have to fucking elaborate. We have to extract the information that has been left out. To attempt to fix the communication for like most of this time, and I have to convince you to fucking start putting context. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. And people like they love assuming things, they love just skipping around, shortening words, turning entire fucking phrases into just like BRB. Just like a jungle of letters at some point, where it gets harder and harder to read because you have shortened everything. You just keep caring less and pretending that's a cool thing to do. That's like a reasonable thing to do, but you still have to, like, explain the fucking word now. The shortening of the word. At some point, you know, you have to translate things into English when you're talking English, primarily. But you're talking shortenings now. Sometimes it's not even letters. I mean, this fucking throws me off. This, like, feels like noise. And it's supposed to mean without. What is that? What is the dash doing? It's not like vo is a word, and dash definitely helps. But then why bother? Like, what are we doing? I don't know if it's a side effect, but literally the two most popular languages under capitalism as it stands right now is noise. So this guy shows how noisy English is because it doesn't follow any fucking patterns. You cannot intuitively find any principles, and a language without principles is the noisiest, the dumbest thing ever, because you cannot actually use it intuitively. You cannot construct things by yourself as easily. And often enough, like, your ability to even speak English will get jammed. You will not know how to say a word, how to spell a word, how to write it down. Like, at some point, you're literally jamming your productivity with the dumbest fucking language that happens to be popular. What is happening? And guess what the other language is? Fucking garbage. Fucking dog shit, basically. At this point, it just makes me angry. Right? And it sounds horrible. At least it would sound nice. At least it would, like you have this, like, emoji language. At least I could decipher something about it, but even the characters are just so incredibly complex. What is this fucking scribble right there? What is all of this? Like, why is it so complex? It's insane. I can't even comprehend people writing this shit down most of the time. And remembering it. This is where we live right now under capitalism, guys. It's pure fucking nightmare. So the moment there's, like, a public sector of Asia, like Korea and Japan, I mean, it looks a little bit more normal, a little bit more civilized. They have their own language. It's just, like, so much better. Japanese literally Englify their words because they borrow from English. And Koreans have actually, like, normal letters. But the mainland China, the most spoken language, basically, second most spoken language, is pure fucking noise. It's noise when it sounds, and it's noise when you look at it. I want to bleach my eyes from all this irreality happening around me. There's too much, okay? Leave me alone. So, like, I mean, in China, everything, we talk disrespect. It's the language of disrespect. You might not notice going down streets, basically. Everything is clean. Everything is, like, lawfully ordered. And everyone talks disrespect. So, and no one fully knows full extent of Chinese characters. But that's how you not supposed to know every single English word, right? I think Chinese language is made out of just, like, words. It's weird. Had enough, guys. Had enough, guys. It's pure pain. Doesn't fucking end there. Just look at the back of any item that you purchase. And you will find noise. You're literally consuming noise. You are consuming. You open your mouth. Not only noise comes out, but noise goes back in. What the fuck is happening now? How do we top this? Noise comes out of your fucking ass. It comes into your mouth. It comes out of your mouth. It comes into your ears. Like, we're just getting raped by noise from every fucking hole imaginable. And again, when I say it comes out of your ass, it just comes out of you just like exhaust of like when you're happy. I will stick to my guns, basically. And call it ass, just like a general system. Yes, farts, but farts are not noisy. We can talk about smells, but smells are not actually relevant in this topic. Smells just, it's nothing. It almost seems if we talked about smells, it is such a notorious thing that NPCs like notice that the most. Not noise. They notice smells because smells is a notorious thing. It's not something. It's a novel. You can't find it easily. I love the smell of the book. They say when they open the fucking book, they're just so dumb. You know, they are so fucking dumb when they talk, and it's like you have to decipher if the podcast that they are running is just pure noise, or is there something valuable in it? And you have to, like, somehow survive the noise. No matter how good the podcast is, it's noise to value ratio in the end of the day. Because at some point, the podcast will tell you to play Raid Shadow Legends. They will have sponsors that will add more noise. And that's another thing. The ads. Oh, it's actually probably the biggest thing that I completely left out. It's everywhere. The only time you will find the colors in the world, in the black and white world that we live in, they're just blobbed up containers of humans, basically. The only time you will see colors shining directly into your eyeballs is when people ask for money, when they beg for money. Hey, buy this thing. It's a very good thing. And look how colorful and shiny it is. Please buy it right now. They will blast you with advertisements again to the extent that they can. And they can't even knock on your fucking door, though. They just can't knock on your door. Like, if an advertisement comes in a form of human being knocking on my door and trying to explain something interesting to me, instead of like Jehovah's Witness, basically. Shut the fuck up, man. Or instead of someone asking for money. No, get a job. Ask someone else for jobs. We don't have it here. But we don't have, like, the only time, there was one time, and I missed it, guys. I fucking missed it, but there was one time someone was selling potatoes. They knocked on everyone's door and they sell potatoes. And I'm like, wow. I would buy that shit, man. That's the best thing ever. It's like you want to stock up on potatoes. It's just the most obvious thing. And you knock on people's doors and like, wow. It sucks. Life fucking sucks. And capitalism introduced so much noise. And this is how you know whether something is good or bad. Instead of being vortexed into a city life, which is probably the noisiest thing, but even in cities you can maybe establish and find a pocket of the world, and it's like the most beautiful thing. Alright, so, I don't know. Send me videos of the most beautiful places that are not noisy, just so I can enjoy it, you know? It's gonna be my pastime, just watching places that are not noisy. Not tourist-ridden places. Like when you set up camp, you have your nearby grocery stores or whatever, but you also have peace and quiet. Imagine that. Totally impossible. Someone is cutting grass while you're trying to imagine. Someone is flying a plane. I mean, now we have like drones and planes and God knows what else is gonna fucking happen under capitalism to introduce the most disgusting noises. But this seems to not escalate as much. I mean, you definitely don't want to live near the airport. That sounds like a fucking death sentence, to be honest. But yeah, I'm overwhelmed. We filled an entire hour talking about this is noisy, that's noisy. I am now noisy because I ran out of things and energy, and I should end the video now. I can't. But yeah, that's the biggest evil. I don't think there is anything worse than this. Besides, greed, but greed is not like a side effect. You have to be genuinely choosing evil to become greedy. Because when you're greedy, like, you steal things from people, one way or the other. Directly, indirectly, doesn't matter. It just makes it feel more legal if it's indirectly. So when noise is being discussed, like, even my train video was popular, but people just like didn't care about literally the biggest evil of capitalism when it was brought up. So I had to introduce all the other big issues that trains had, where you have to maintain the rails. It's the only vehicle with its own different system that they have to drive upon. They have their own personal highway. And despite having a personal highway, they still make a lot of noise. Explain that, motherfuckers. You have your own personal space. Why are you still stealing other people's privacy for it? Right? Why does it not actually benefit anyone at all in the end of the day? Because each time you have to outweigh the weigh positives and negatives, and usually all this technology is just net zero, a bunch of noise. Like, people have more cars, but in socialism, under American socialism, or sociopathic capitalism, everyone has to have a car. And all of a sudden, no one's actually efficient anymore. No one's faster because of that. Even money turns into noise because of scams. If scammers can flood your inbox with noise, they will do it. Even money becomes noise. Like, look at this shit, right? How can you argue against that? It's insane. It's insane, bro. And there's probably like half of the things I haven't even bumped into yet, to throw as an example. Half of the time I'm just going to be thinking, like, wow, that's annoying. But that's a story for next episodes. I will throw crumbs about previous episodes every now and then, because those concepts are huge. And it looks like, again, I couldn't escape it. I had to talk about capitalism full force, basically. Because it's so educationally, like, enlightening. Is like the best series ever on the internet, maybe. I'm proud. Subscribe. Bye-bye.